The new BlackMax System, available from Rionet and SilkScreeningSupplies.com, is the ultimate film output system. This video will detail some of the advantages of the system, as well as what the software does, how to use it, and perhaps most importantly, how to adjust your software settings to get the best prints possible, including halftones. First off, let's discuss the system. At the core of the system is the Epson 1400 inkjet printer. This printer traditionally offers 6 cartridges to print full-color images, but Rionet and Accurip have augmented this printer to hold 6 cartridges of high-quality, all-black BlackMax ink. Most RIP film output systems only pull from 1 or 2 black cartridges, leaving the rest to sit idle in your printer. However, the printer still uses these color cartridges to perform head cleanings because the color print nozzles are not being used regularly. These cleanings waste ink, and you end up replacing costly color cartridges you don't even use. The advantages of this unique all-black system are many. It offers quicker printing, more opaque prints, and it reduces clogged heads and wasted ink. The BlackMax system comes with the Epson 1400 printer, the ink cartridges, the Accurip software, which we will explain in full in a few minutes, 200 sheets of R film, 4 instructional DVDs, USB cable, and instructions. Let's take a look at why the BlackMax system is so effective. First, by explaining halftones, and then by laying out the best software settings for this system. Traditional inkjet printers print in a line or linear format, which is not helpful to screen printers. In order for a screen to expose any type of gradient image, like this one here, the printer has to print the film positive as a postscript halftone image. To print a halftone image with an inkjet printer, you need to have a RIP software or raster image program software, which is why the Accurip software is essential to this package. A halftone image just means that the film is printed in a series of dots, versus the linear printing of a traditional inkjet printer. Let's take a look at why that's important. If you try to expose a gradient image without using halftones, the image will only partially expose, meaning at some point when the positive is not dense enough to block exposure light from the screen, it will just stop exposing. Here's an example. This was our gradient image from earlier. See how only the top section of the image was opaque enough to expose onto the screen? What we want to do is print our films in halftone so they will expose properly. Here's a halftone scale. The top of the scale starts at 100% black, and it decreases to 10% black. As you can see, the dots in each box become more infrequent as the percentages drop. This is how we create gradient images for screen printing. Now that you know why you need a RIP software, let's talk about your options. Through the years, Rionet has sold several types of RIP software, but currently only sells Accurip software because we have found it to be easier to use, more versatile, and even less expensive than your standard RIP software. Most RIP software require a dongle and will lock your printer into one cartridge, meaning you can only ever print out of 1 or maybe 2 ink cartridges. With Accurip, there's no dongle, just an easy-to-use license code. It's network software, so you can use it on multiple computers, and it allows you to select which cartridges you wish to print from. This has allowed Rionet to revolutionize the small format print output industry by enabling the BlackMax system to print black ink from all 6 ink cartridges. Now let's take a look at what's in the BlackMax system. The system consists of the Accurip software, an Epson 1400 printer, which is a 6-cartridge, 13x19 format printer. You will need to install the Epson print software to use this printer. Being that this is the BlackMax system, it is important to remember that this package does not come with standard Epson inks. Instead, we have included 6 all-black ink cartridges. These cartridges come color-coded in order to know where to place them in the printer. Also included in the system is a standard USB cable. The BlackMax system will not work through a FireWire drive. The BlackMax system also comes with 200 sheets of waterproof R film, 100 sheets each of 8.5 by 14 and 13 by 19. The waterproof film is slightly cloudy due to its ability to instantly encapsulate the ink into the film. This allows you to print films without the fear of printer roller marks on wet film, and the waterproof film allows you to store the film without fear of it getting wet and the ink running off. let's go over setup of the system. First off, remove all the packing materials and tape from the printer. Once that's done, plug the printer in. Press the ink button to tell the printer to position the ink carriage in the ink loading position. The inks are all color-coded, so you just install the inks with their corresponding colored label. The ink will not fit into the slot that it's not intended for, so just follow the color coding. Once all the cartridges are in place, close the lid and hit the ink button. This will charge the print head. Next up in the setup process is the installation of the printer software. Insert the disk into your computer, and when the Epson software box appears on the screen, follow the instructions. Click the Install button, agree to the terms of use, and then select Install for standard USB and hit Next. The disk will begin installing onto your computer. During the installation process, the software will prompt you to plug in the USB cable, first to your computer and then to the printer. Do this step when the software asks you to. Once that is done and the computer can detect the printer, the software will automatically continue to install. Finally, hit the Print Test Page button to make sure that everything has gone smoothly and your printer is working. There's no need to install the additional printer software. Next up in the system setup process is to install the Accurip software. We recommend following the Quick Start reference guide to install the software using the access code found inside your software case. The Accurip installation process is really fast and easy. Here's our image from earlier, but this time it's been printed with the Accurip software. The image is now printed in a halftone dot format. The dots visibly decrease as the image lightens. Another advantage of the Accurip is that it prints much better registration marks as well as center crop marks. And of course, with this system, you are using all 6 black cartridges of ink, which allows you to lay down much more ink for more opaque films. Accurip is the only RIP software that gives the versatility to select which cartridges you want to print from. So now that we've seen the film positive printed in halftone using Accurip and the BlackMax system, let's take a look at the exposed screen. Clearly, the screen has a gradient image burned into it. When you go to print this image, the amount of ink you lay down will start at 100% and fade all the way down to 5%, giving you a true gradient image. Also,